still raining. I think you could see it because I'm getting wet. It's been raining for the past 3 weeks non-stop since we got back from our road trip. And it's been very hot when it's not raining, which has created a lot of humidity, and sadly Apollo got a hot spot. In this video, I'm gonna be showing you what we do to treat hot spots, and you're gonna see him with his beautiful cone. But first, I wanna mention that I'm not a veterinarian or a vet technician or anything like that, but this is how we treat our hot spots. Also, if your dog have a hot spot and is pretty big, I will recommend you to take it to your vet, as he may need antibiotics. If it's small and it's manageable, you could use it with topic treatments like we're gonna be using. We're gonna be using these two today. We live in the south, and here it gets very humid and very hot every year during the summer. So this is not the first time that we have to deal with this. So we are a little bit have experience treating hot spots. Plus we have fluffy dogs, and this is something that a lot of fluffy breeds suffer from during this time of the year with this weather. Breeds like German Shepherd, Rottweilers, Golden Retriever, Huskies, Samoyeds, Malamutes, they tend to get hot spots when it gets a lot of humidity, or they also get it from allergies, and this is also allergy season. I'm pretty sure I know when Apollo got it. We just got a tropical storm, and Apollo doesn't poop in the backyard. We need to walk him multiple times a day, and we were walking him during the storm, and that humidity of going in and out in the rain and in the heat, I think that's what it creates the hot spot that he has right now. If you're interested to see how we treat the hot spot, keep on watching. My poor baby, he has the cone of shame. He got a hot spot. Actually, he got two hot spots, one in each side of his face. This is something that happens especially when you have northern breeds. This sometimes happen in the summer. This is not the first time he get a hot spot, and in this video I'm gonna be showing you how we treat it. Like I said, this is not the first time he get one, and the reason he have the cone is because he was crushing it and he made it bleed a little bit. It's super tender and it's very itchy for them, and he's upset with me. I am so sorry, buddy, but you look adorable. I'm so sad. He looks so sad.
You on this side, there you go. Good boy.
So if you're a little bit squeamish, avoid this part. We're gonna be showing you what a hot spot look like.
See, it's just very tender. See it?
Yes.
It's very tender, the area.
And you can see it have a little bit of oozing.
You can see the color the further.
Yes. A hot spot is technically a dermatitis, and it becomes very tender and is painful and very, very itchy, and it could spread really easily because it gets so itchy they start scratching it and they make it bigger and bigger and bigger. That's how a spot is created. It's a tender spot that they get an itchiness and they just spread it by scratching it more and more.
Alright, so we're gonna use...
We're gonna be using the Better Seen Plus. This is an antimicrobial hydrogel. If you go to the AKC website, one of the main things that they say to put in the hotspots is this here, the hydrochloric acid. And we found this in our local, I don't know what you call that. That's like a pet shop?
It's a feed, like an animal feed.
They sell stuff like for horses,
cattle.
Yeah, all type of animals. Yeah. It's not like a normal pet shop like PetSmart. It's more specialized. It's very expensive, but it's really good, and these have antibiotic on it.
Yeah. And I believe it also helps to numb the area a little bit so that it doesn't itch. So the first thing that it says on the bottle to do is just shake it. Make sure you mix all the ingredients inside. And then you want to do a couple sprays into a napkin to make sure that it's loaded up, the spray. Especially the first time you use it is going to be empty. And what it says to do is to wet the area completely. And if you do have to dress the wound, to also to spray the gauze as well. And then dress the room that you want to keep the area moist.
But in the area where he have it, we cannot dress it because it's in his face.
Yeah, so what we're going to do when it's done is put a cone on him just so that he doesn't scratch it and make it worse. And what the secret is using high value treats that they like. I like to use these greenies just because it takes them a little bit to get through them, and it gives me a little chance to work up the area. So we'll open it up as much as we can. Good boy. All right.
Good boy! Good boy, buddy!
Oh wow, it's really cool. It's like a gel. Like if you've ever used Neosporin, you know, it's kind of like thick and jelly.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. It looks just like it. Interesting. So this is something else that we use all the time when there's a cut on one of them if they're bleeding. It's just a powder, so when you like open it up and squeeze it, it'll just throw out a yellow powder. And let me open it up and see if you can see inside. Well, this one's not yellow. This one's like a gray. It's normally been yellow. But we used to use this on, we used to have horses, and if they got a cut or something, we would use this on them, and it's worked wonders. It's great. It'll actually clot the blood and help them scab, so it'll dry the area, and that way flies wouldn't get to it or whatever. And we've used it on them before if there was like any kind of cut, just because it'll clot the blood and help to stop the bleeding. We didn't use it on this area now because they're not bleeding. He's not bleeding. He's just a little tender, and that's why we tried the other product.
We bought it because this morning when we saw the hotspot, it was a little bit of blood. So we bought it just in case he was still bleeding. But like he's not bleeding at this moment, he doesn't need it. The other one is the actual medicine. This one is just to stop the bleed.
Actually, it says there. Blood coagulate. Yeah, this will just stop the bleeding. And it's great to have. This is something nice to have in the house, just in case you ever have anything happen.
It's very important to clean the cone between uses. So he had it all morning, and you could see there's slobber marks, and there's like boogers and...
Oh, and the attempt of trying to drink water.
Yes. So it's very important that you keep the cone as clean as possible. You don't want bacteria growing in the cone and get any wound even worse than what it is. Especially that his wound is next to his face where the cone is. So between uses, we like to clean it and to keep it clean at all times. Also, you don't want the cone to start smell really bad.
Another thing that you can also do too is if they wear a collar on a regular basis, this is a good idea to take it off if the hot spot is anywhere near that area, because sometimes I guess like the collar like pinches their hair and then you want to scratch.
Yes.
So this is a good time to take it off.
So right now he doesn't have his collar, but he have his cone. We tried to get him a donut instead of the cone, but they don't come his size, so a cone it is. The hotspot is very painful and very itchy. When you're working on your dog, you don't want to have your other dogs around them. It could cause a fight because they're in pain and they don't know why they are in pain. And especially you're giving them treats and they're in pain, it could cause a fight. So Go to a room where it's only you and your dog and keep your other dogs away. Buddy!
Also, if they have a hotspot somewhere else, I mean, the cone works for any place, I think. But if they have a hotspot somewhere else, I know Venus has gotten it sometimes, like in the armpit area. So she's still able to scratch. But we put like sweaters on her.
Yes.
That helps.
That's one of the reasons I like to buy pajamas. We get the one from Target because they're the cheapest and the biggest in size. And they work perfectly when the times that they have gotten hotspots in the joints. Normally hotspots, they get them in their hands, in their hips, and in the armpits. Those are the places where most humidity gets in the body and the warmest. So because hotspots are caused by humidity and warmth, they tend to get hotspot in those areas during the summer. So we have this first aid kit for Venus and Apollo. Everything that is in here is for pets, and we like to have this in the dog room, and we travel with it when we are doing our big road trip. In here we have this self-adhesive bandage. We used to use this for the horses and it worked really well when they have a wound. We cover their legs. We had actually have to use it on Venus on a trip. We were in New Jersey and she had a cut on her paw that got infected. And while we were treating it, we have to keep it covered because it was snowing and we didn't want it to get wet. And I buy it in funky colors because I like it, but they come in natural colors if you don't like funky colors like me. We also have gloves in here, just in case we don't want to get their wound infected. This one is for...
That's another puff thing. It's like similar to this. To help clot the area and dry it out very quickly. That way it's kind of scabs up. Hold that. Little, what do you call this, popsicle stick looking thing. We have gloves. What else do we have in here? Neosporin. What is this? Eye drops. We have peroxide, but we also, for our peroxide, we also use, here it is. We found this to be better. We filled this up ourselves, and the spray bottle just makes it easier to get it on certain areas.
This one is good if they got like a cut. This one, if they lick like a frog, or something that you think it could be poisonous, if they eat like a plant that you think it could be poisonous, you chuck this in their mouth and make them vomit.
Eye wash, this purified water. More bandages. Let's see. Oh, this is for Venus's oxygen thing when we were giving her the face mask. Gauze. This is for Venus's inhaler.
Venus is asthmatic and we sometimes have to give her therapy. Thank God for the past few years she hasn't needed them, but that's why we have them. In the past she have need oxygen.
Yeah.
Yes, we are extra. We have one of these.
And this is really hard to use on them. That's why we use these self-adhesive bandages, because this is like, it doesn't stick to anything on them. And it just falls off. I got this is like for camera equipment, but I got it actually to be like a tourniquet. So if they ever have a problem, I can always like tighten it on them if I need to stop them from bleeding for whatever reason.
I use this normally to give medication to Shrek. He is not very good taking medication, so I like to use this type of thingies.
Alright, let's see. Thermometer. This is for the thermometer as well. And then we have different kinds of pills. Is the trauma kit. So this is if we need to actually do any kind of suture. So it's a full suture kit.
I hope we never have to use it, but we like to have it.
Yeah.
And definitely that's not something that I will use because I'm very squeamish.
And that's it. Oops, sorry. Looks like a good boy.
Buddy, let's show your friends your boo-boo.
Let me get some more treats.
I cannot see it.
It's right here. Where my finger's at.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. So we'll clean it now. And put more over it.
Good boy. Who's a good boy?
I'm gonna need your help. You gotta go give him the treats so that I can do this. You didn't put your hand in open, so you gotta. Good boy.
Wait, I run out of treats. We're back in the business.
Yeah. I'm gonna do this a couple of times so to clean up his fur. Clean up the wound a little bit.
It's gonna be stained for a few days, so it's not gonna look completely back to his normal color while it's healing. Plus, it's a little bit stained.
Yeah. And we're getting off actually a lot of the old ointment too. That
Yeah.
was on there.
But these treats are not cheap, you know?
It did a lot though. It cleaned up a lot.
By the way, today is day 3
Mm-hmm.
and it's almost completely healed. It does have a scab, but he's barely scratching. We still put in the corn.
The corn.
We still put in the con every night to sleep, and during the day he only have it off if we are next to him. Whenever he's gonna be in the other room or if he's gonna be alone, he gets the con.
Good boy. Yeah, that's the only spot. The other side is pretty much already healed though. He hasn't scratched at it and the scab is completely closed. I'm not gonna bother putting this on there anymore because the scab almost looks like it's falling off. The other side was smaller.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not gonna bother doing it on that side.
Good boy. And today we are using these treats. They love these ones. They're supposed to be food toppers. They're raw freeze-dry beef, But I get them for Shrek because they're very soft, and Shrek is missing almost all his teeth. He's 14 years old and he barely have teeth, and these are very soft. Today is day 5 of the hotspot, and he's already out of the cone. The hotspot pretty much is completely healed. He still have a little bit of a scab that is about to come off, but for the most part is completely healed. Normally hotspot lasts 3 to 7 days. This one lasts 5.
Well done, buddy. Alright. So it's part of the scab.
There you have a little bit of a scab that is coming out still, but most of it already came out, and you see a little pieces of the scab on his fur. So he's already out of the cone. Yeah, bunny, no more cone for you.